Welcome to our video on multi-objective optimization. Me and my team members are from the branch of Quality Engineering Design and Manufacturing from IIT Kharagpur, and this is an assignment for the course Artificial Intelligence, its foundations and its applications. My name is Kshitij Pisal.
I'm Devang Singhi.
I am Saurabh Kumar.
I am Rathod Naveen Naik. Let us move to the presentation.
In very simple terms, a multi-objective optimization problem is an optimization problem with conflicting goals. Maximizing one of the objective as an effect might cause the value of the other to decrease, while our goal might be to maximize both of the objectives. Some of the real world examples are stated here. A very intuitive one is the choice of a laptop. When you need it to be very lightweight to carry around with ease, but it should also be powerful enough as to meet your needs. It's a conflicting goal because if it's powerful, then it would be usually heavier.
As we know, multi-objective optimization is the combination of different objective functions. Either all the objective functions are to be minimized, or all the objective functions are to be maximized, or some of them are minimized, or some of them are maximized. Optimal solution is the one which satisfy different objective functions and different constraints associated with it. Pareto front is a set of optimal solutions which satisfy all the objective functions given, whether they are maximized or minimized based upon their condition. Other than Pareto front solutions, there are other solutions which also possible are not feasible solutions. So, in mathematical terms, let a vector x be an optimal Pareto front such that for a minimization problem there is no other vector y exists, and f of y should be less than or equal to f of x, and vice versa for the maximization problem. That is why we call Pareto front solutions are a non-dominated solution in which none of the solutions get dominated by these Pareto front optimal solutions. Here I would like to talk about Pareto front optimality using a diagram. So in this plot we can see that there are two objective functions such as f1x and f2x, and both the objective functions are to be minimized. So this frontier curve shows there is an optimal solutions of different combinations possible for both the objective functions to be minimized, and the black color dot are also the optimal solutions, but they are dominated solutions. So the solutions which are present on the Pareto front optimal solutions, which gives the objective function of f1x and f2x combined, is minimum. So that is why we call the solutions on the Pareto front are dominated solutions, and the solutions which are present away from the Pareto front in the possible solution space are called non-dominated solutions.
Now moving on to the next method, which is a very popular used heuristic algorithm for solving multi-objective functions. Genetic algorithm uses analogy of gene evolution and replication to find an optimal solution. The process of gene evolution, as shown in the figure, roughly involves selecting best chromosomes from a pool, breeding them, and finally mutating them to reach to new, potentially improved solutions. The method of using chromosomes and genes is achieved by binary strings of numbers. As shown in the figure, one bit of the string is a gene and the whole string is the chromosome. A collection of such chromosomes is a population pool. Now the population in the pool is arranged such that the priority is given to chromosomes with favorable values. Further, these chromosomes are selected Using one of the many methods such as ruler wheel selection or tournament selection to basically make pairs of these chromosomes that can be breeded to generate offsprings, which in theory might give better results. The process also involves mutation, which is performed to explore the search space. This exploration and exploitation power that evolutionary algorithms such as GA gives us is central for the algorithm to converge on a global optimum solution. This gives an edge to heuristic algorithms over traditional exact ones. They are also computationally less expensive. Some examples of modified GA in multi-objective optimization problems are VEGA, MOGA, etc.
Particle swarm optimization consists of different swarms, and PSO is a computational method that optimizes a problem by finding the solution iteratively with the threshold of the value or quality of the solution we required. It solves a problem by having a population of particles and moving these particles around in a search space given according to the different constraints available and the mathematical formula related to it over the particle's position and velocity. During the movement of this each particle in the search space, they are influenced by identifying their local best solution, but also guided towards the best known position in the search space, which are updated as better positions are found by their particles. So this is expected to move the swarm towards the best solution. And there are three different kinds of vectors possible in the particle swarm optimization for a particle to move in the search space. That is C vector, B vector, and A vector. C vector records the current position of a particle in the search space. B vector records the location of the best solution which is obtained so far in the search space from the initial state to the current state. So A vector is a direction or a gradient in which the particle will travel without the disturbing any other particles in the search space. So here I discuss the particle swarm optimization. So here I discuss the particle swarm optimization methodology. Now initially the process starts with assigning a random position and velocity vectors to the swarm. Then for each of the particles we need to evaluate the fitness. If the evaluated fitness is greater than the global best fitness, then the global best fitness is updated as that evaluated fitness. Then after the comparing with the global best, we need to compare with an particle best. So when the fitness is of the evaluated particle is greater than the fitness of an particle best, then we need to assign the particle best as an evaluated fitness. After identifying the fitness values, we need to update the velocities with this expression. So in this C1 and C2 are some of the constant values. Then after updating the velocities, we need to update the position with the help of the updated velocity. Then this should be continued for each of the particle present in the swarm. So after completion of all the particles, we need to terminate the program and the global best will be updated as an output which we get after completing of all the particles. So in the whole process of an particle swarm optimization, each particle will accelerate towards the global best from their particle best with a random allocation of weights. So the weights get continuously changing and getting the particles to reach their global best from their particle best. So this accelerating of an particle will be done by adding a velocity vector to the position vector to get the updated position vector. And after finding the updated position vector, then this fitness value of that position vector will be evaluated, and if that is found the greater than the fitness value of an global best which is obtained till that state from the initial state, then the global best value will be updated as that updated position vector.
Directed search domain algorithm is capable of providing an evenly distributed set of solutions or generate an evenly distributed Pareto set in a general formulation, which most multi-objective optimization methods are incapable of. This property is especially important in real-life design because a decision maker is usually able to analyze only a very limited number of solutions. This approach is based on shrinking a search domain to generate a Pareto optimal solution in a selected area on the Pareto frontier. There are 6 major steps in this algorithm. I will go one by one through these steps in brief. First, to prevent severe skewing, we scale each of our objective function using min-max scaling. Then we calculate our anchor points. In the objective space Z, an anchor point μi represents the minimum of an ith objective function subject to the constraints given, also shown in figure. Then we proceed with Utopia hyperplane calculation using given formula. Next, we vary the coefficients alpha I in given equation uniformly, which then generates evenly distributed points on the Utopia hyperplane. Aggregate objective function is then represented using summation of each objective function. Then we shrink our search domain around a given direction by introducing new coordinate system and reference point at M, which will result in search code. As shown in figure, this is then flipped opposite to Utopia flow. We can also perform rotation on our search domain as entire Pareto front may not have been covered. Here, directed search domain algorithm is shown in this slide with brief steps.
Now let us look at the multi-objective branch and bound algorithm. The principle of branch and bound algorithm is to divide the search domain into subdomains with lower dimensionality. The first multi-objective algorithm was proposed by Kiziltan and Ukaglu in 1983. Various approaches can be considered to deal with multiple conflicting goals. On one hand, it is possible to reduce the number of objectives to a single objective function by using weighted sum of objectives. On the other hand, the solutions of a multi-objective optimization problem are norm-dominated solutions and referred as Pareto front when plotted in the objective space. A branch and bound algorithms can be used to solve mixed variable problems, that is, problems with discrete, integer, and continuous variables. This means that the objectives and constraints function are defined for any real value between the minimum and maximum discrete values and are smooth. Let us understand how multi-objective branch and bound algorithms are initialized. An initial approximation of the Pareto front can lead to the reduced number of evaluations required by multi-objective branch and bound algorithm. This front may be found by meta-heuristic methods, but we can also use partial front at root node. Here, we'll see the partial front at root node in the diagram that is represented. In the left part of the diagram, solutions of partial front at root node are plotted in the objective space, and in the right part, they are plotted in the design variable space. For each solution, the integer solutions in its vicinity are evaluated and kept if all constraints are fulfilled. The set of non-dominated initial leaves becomes the initial front.